Welcome to Thought for the Day on this Tuesday. When I go up to St Chad's Chapel on Thursday morning, I also went up there on Monday morning this week to pray. I often use the order of prayer called Celtic Daily Prayer. It's the order of prayer that comes from the community on Lindisfarne. It's a community that I know Terry has also been influenced by and found very helpful. And in the order of morning prayer for the day, there's a few short Bible readings. There's also a reading which often comes from some saint from long ago in the Celtic Christian tradition. And the readings through November have been talking about a gentleman called Anthony of Egypt. And let me just tell you a little bit about him. So about AD 285, Antony went into the Egyptian desert to live in complete solitude. His reputation drew others to settle near him, and around AD 305, so 20 years later, he came out of the hermitage to act as their spiritual father, and after 5 years retired again into solitude. So this is who Antony was. He lived a long, long time ago, 1700 years ago, went out into the desert. Others came for just a sense of more intense following of Christ. And this morning's reading said that yesterday morning's reading said that when they had the chance to hear Anthony talk, it filled everyone with much joy. Some loved goodness more passionately. Carelessness in others was thrown aside. Some put to death their self-conceit. They all began to despise the evil one's attacks and trickery. And so their cells in the mountains were like tents filled with a company of holy men singing psalms, with a great love for reading, fasting and prayer, excited about the future, busy in bringing help to anyone in need, and keeping sincere love and harmony between them all. It was like looking down over a land set apart, full of devout hearts and righteous ways. No one perpetrated any injustice, nor was there anyone injured or victimized, or even pursued by the taxman. And it seems that those who came across Anthony, those who looked up to him in the desert, heard him talk about Christ, talk about his faith, talk about his life in the desert, and realized he had something else. And it inspired them to become different. It says they loved goodness more passionately. They threw away their carelessness, and they became seemed like a company of people who were just different. A wonderful sense of togetherness and excitement about the future, and just singing together, praying together, enjoying life together. And you know what? That's my dream of what the church could and should be like. We get snippets of it, even in this strange time of lockdown. From time to time on Tuesday evening, when we gather around on Zoom to look at the Bible together, there are moments when it feels like this is where I really want to be. These are the people I want to be with, who share my excitement about what God's doing, who are kind of comrades in arms in this work of living for Christ here on earth. And it's a beautiful picture. It's one I long to see here. But as I was thinking about that, I just read that the last sentence, which I haven't got to yet in this reading about Anthony. It says, despite this, even though there was this amazing experience, Christian life together that we can maybe only get glimpses of, but even the glimpses are worth going for. Even so, Anthony would quietly return alone to his cell and think there of heaven with deep longing. And when I read that this morning, I thought, wow, what God's got for us is way better than even the very best that this world could offer. We often talk about heaven rightly as a place where there's no more death or mourning or crying or pain, where somehow the world is bad and heaven is good. But what this passage reminded me is even the very best of the world, and the world can be an amazing place, even the very best of the world is nothing to what God has for you, has for us, as for those who love Jesus in heaven. So may that thought inspire you and cheer you through today as you live for Christ in this interesting world with its wonderfulness and its brokenness. God bless.